I realized a lot of black people do not know who are the true Asian allies of the black community are. Because there's a lot of liberal Asians in America, right? But there's only a few who has actually frequently defended black people on a common occurrence. It's not just once or twice, maybe 3 times. No, it's multiple times on multiple occasions they have defended us. There are a lot of people who are liberals, especially people of color, who swears to God they're allies of the black community, and they'll go tooth and nail for us, and they'll fight us on every given occasion, only for them to talk out of their ass and not do anything about it. So I'm going to give you the list of the Asian allies I follow because they deserve it. By the way, none of this is scaled, just the list. Number 1 is Umi. She has defended black people on multiple occasions. She has defended our honor, our dignity, and our representation. She's even backed it up with statistics. Number 2 is Dr. Gia. She is the fucking GOAT when it comes to not just defending black people, but she's also bringing in that black and Asian solidarity. She is constantly calling out the anti-blackness within the Asian community, and honestly, my respects for her is high as shit. Number 3 is Amy Chen, an absolute veteran of defending black people for black and Asian solidarity, and she's just godly at statistics. Her research is incredibly immaculate, and she'll also compare those statistics with history. Number 4 is Eric O. Even though he doesn't really make political content all that much, whenever he sees Asian people stepping out of line, he will go out of his way to make a video about it, and I'm like, okay, you cool. Number 5, my all-time favorite, Unity. She is superb. She's not only a massive representation of black and Asian solidarity, she defends black people, she has many black friends, she is insanely multicultural, she's a part of the black culture, and she talks about a book of how to decenter whiteness with Asian people. Number 6 is Ed, also a veteran. Very transparent when it comes to the anti-blackness within the Asian community. He pulls no punches. He also talks about the prejudiceness within the black community towards the Asian community, which is true. Massive supporter of black and Asian solidarity, incredibly transparent, and education. Number 7 is 6 May 6, tremendous supporter of the black and Asian solidarity, calls out the anti-blackness, calls out the stereotype. He has a black partner too, if I'm not mistaken. She also discussed ways for black and Asian people to unite as one. Number 8, who is a state representative, is Jin Woo. Again, massive supporter of black and Asian solidarity, and he talks about the history with civil rights and Asian people. Number 9 is Melissa. Need I say more? Honestly, her reputation is so fucking incredible when it comes to black people. I don't think I need to say anything about this one. Anyways, that's my list. If I'm forgetting anyone, let me know in the comments because I would like to find more. But that's all I gotta say in the matter. It's Onyx, and I'm gone.
Hello everyone, I'm Nobo and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that doesn't get enough honesty. Respectful decision, the relationship between black communities and Asian communities, and the real conversations happening around anti-blackness, solidarity and accountability. There has been a video circulating online where black and Asian folks are openly addressing uncomfortable truths, and instead of reacting defensively or dismissing it as drama. I think this is exactly the kind of conversation we need if we are serious about justice, equality and liberation for everyone. Unity isn't about pretending problems don't exist. Unity is about the truth, accountability, and collective growth. Let's break it down. Firstly, let's be clear about something. Anti-black is real and it exists globally, including within black communities of color. That doesn't mean Asian people are the enemy. It means we have to be honest about how white supremacy operates by placing communities against each other while rewarding proximity to whiteness. Historically, systems of power had pushed the model minority myth onto Asian countries. This myth is harmful to everyone. It is used to shame black communities, deny systemic racism, and keep people fighting sideways. In my own view, this is classic divide and conquer. What I appreciate about these conversations is that they aren't about blame, they are about responsibility. You can be obsessed and still participate in harmful belief. Real solidarity means acknowledging anti-black stereotypes when they show up, calling out colorism and anti-black racism in families, businesses, and media. Understanding that silence keeps the status quo, not justice. And it also means recognizing shared struggles, anti-immigration policies, over policing, capitalism, profiting off racial division. None of us benefit from pretending these issues doesn't exist. Progressive politics isn't about comfort, it's about transformation, and transformation requires honesty.
Y'all, are we really having a moment? Asian folks and black folks are having a moment right now. Let's go. Not only are we giving each other the tea, we are giving each other the tea about anti-blackness in our community. I know y'all been seeing old girl talk about what's been going on in the Asian community, how they've been checking each other for their anti-blackness, how a lot of them are becoming pro-black now because they recognize that being pro-black is connected to being pro-Asian. And they're realizing that supporting black folks supports everybody. Like, wake it up. They are waking it up. And in doing so, they are calling out the folks in their community who are setting all of them back. Setting them back when it comes to community, when it comes to unity, when it comes to pride and culture, and not jumping to fall at the feet of every white person you see. And in being nosy, we are seeing that we have so much in common, y'all, and that we benefit from unity because we know that proximity to whiteness will not save us. Being one of the tokens or the good ones will not save us. Rejecting who we are and our communities for the safety net of whiteness will not save us. We know that eventually that net comes crashing down, and you don't want to be up under that thing when it does. So I just love that we are having this I see you moment, okay? I see you. I see y'all. I love this. And I love that this is strictly connection and sharing of information and educating each other. It's not no drama, no gossip, no ragging on your own community, but instead calling out the thing in order to empower your community. They're letting us know what to look out for, and we're letting them know what to look out for. And they're letting us in on these specifics of this conversation because they know that we get it. And we're not coming up in there on some you need to do this, you need to do that type stuff. We're letting them do what they need to do and being supportive on the sideline. And when I say I am so glad to see it, oh my God. Because this is what we wanted, right? We wanted other communities to recognize the anti-blackness that happens in the midst of them, and for them to call each other on it, hold each other accountable, and be better. And so to see that happening in real time and seeing them say, hey, there is a problem, we are sick of it, let's address it right now. That warms my heart. It means we can do this little thing called change. We can have community with and amongst each other. In spite of and because of our differences, yes, but with our similarities as a grounding point. So y'all, love this. Let's keep it going. Let's keep showing each other the tea. Keep letting me know who to boost and follow and who to block and not pay attention to because they on some messed up stuff. And keep letting those types of folks in your community have it. Because we let ours have it, okay? We gonna let ours have it. Keep this going and keep doing you. And I'm looking forward to what's to come with this new connection. I am.
I'm mad at Asian Americans because why are we so smart but so silent? What's with the silence? I suspect that if we opened our mouths, we would side with black people and other brown people as the real American heroes. Yeah, we're brown, not white. But this would disrupt the white supremacy brainwash we're caught in. And deep down, we hate ourselves for siding with whiteness. We know they're wrong. Our silence is the sound of us hating ourselves. But that's the Squid Game trap that they set for us, an Asian American matrix that messes with our reality. And it's all based on hating black people. You know, the ones we're all secretly trying to copy, even the white peoples. White supremacy isn't smart, but it's tricky like that. You like being tricked? I don't know any Asians who put up with that. We gotta decolonize ourselves and find Asian joy. Therein lies our voice.
I've never answered a question like this before, and it cuts me up. Like, what did they have to tell you to make you hate us? So in Asian families, especially immigrant Asian families, we have our own version of a race talk. Mine was a Chinese family, and in our house, the talk sounded like soft racism, not like eugenics. There was never any insulting of black intelligence or black abilities or black people. It was more practical than that. And it was all about safety. If you want to be safe, you have to align yourself with power. And if you want a piece of the American dream, you need to follow the money, follow the power, and that meant following the white brick road. My dad told me that I could marry a white man or a Chinese man, but preferably a white man and not a black man. So what's unspoken there is that Asian men don't have much power either, and black men have less, but white men have all the power. And me as an Asian girl had no power at all, that all of my power depended on a man. So it's not just soft racism, it's also soft sexism. And that is the model minority brainwash in a nutshell. It is based on a terrible dark side of the American dream that is anti-blackness. It cuts me to the core.
Thank you to this creator for speaking on this, and dear Asian Americans, we need to be talking about anti-Blackness within our community. Hi, my name is Dr. Yi. I'm a psychology professor, and in my research, I have found that anti-Blackness is pervasive among Asian Americans, especially when they internalize the model minority myth. When Asian Americans adopt this belief that their racial group is superior to other racial groups because they have stronger cultural values in hard work and success, it's correlated to greater explicitly negative attitudes towards Black Americans. And echoing what this creator shared, this pitting of minorities against one another, this narrative that Asian Americans just pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and have the right cultural values and hard work to succeed. That narrative has been really internalized within our community and has hindered solidarity to promote greater racial justice for us all. And in my other research, I've done in-depth interviews with Asian Americans to really explore how the model minority myth shapes these beliefs, and particularly serves as a barrier to engaging in activism. So dear Asian Americans, let's break this cycle of silence about anti-Blackness within our community. We can use what privilege we have to engage in protests and rallies, but also in smaller spaces like speaking up in your family when there's an anti-Black comment made. Let's hold ourselves accountable to the ways that we're perpetuating systems of oppression, because nobody's free until everybody's free. Follow for more Asian American psych from a professor.
Some of you may know, some of you may not know. I'm Korean American. I was born here in the States. But let's talk about, this is not a complicated conversation, okay? K-pop is not some isolated cultural phenomenon. It's Black music and Black culture. A lot of you guys have been DMing me, what do you think about K-pop? So I'm addressing it right now. It is Black R&B, hip-hop, pop, systemized through a Korean entertainment industry machine. Not an opinion, it's facts, okay? It's history. Let me take you to the very first K-pop group ever in 1992 called Seo and Boys, Seo Idol. If you listen to their songs, you can probably name the songs they copied. I'm gonna play for you one of their songs called Come Back Home, okay? You tell me what song it is.
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
Now, I know Cypress Hill is more of a Latino, right, American hip-hop group, but what I'm trying to explain to you is that that's what they did from the very beginning. So from the very beginning, from the very first K-pop group ever, okay, it was ambiguous, it was borrowed, it was stolen. And the framework still remains today. We have the 808s, we have the syncopation, we have the hi-hats, we have the melismas, we have the call and response, we have all of the things that Black music, it's Black music. And I'd also like to add that most of the K-pop hits now are being written by Black writers and produced by Black producers. It's not just the sound, right? Because it's the culture, it's the mannerisms, it's the hair, it's the fashion, it's the choreography, it's the slang, it's all of the things that it's taken from Black culture. It did not come from Korean traditional culture. This is where I get uncomfortable talking about this, but here I am, okay? Black artists were historically marginalized. They were penalized. They were excluded because of these very things. And yet, when it comes from K-pop, it's globally accepted and it's even rewarded. What is that? That's not influence. That's racism. And as a Korean American woman working in the music industry, I want to tell Korea, like, do better. Grow up in this conversation, right? If you want to steal, if you want to take, if you're claiming that it's borrowed inspiration, then at least respect the source, at least credit it visibly. And also, let's evolve beyond imitation. Let's evolve, because it's giving cultural appropriation, not respect.
History of Asian and Black American solidarity. Let's talk about Richard Aoki, and he's a little controversial, but it's worth talking about him still. Aoki was a civil rights activist born in 1938 in California. Upon his release from the internment camps, his family moved to West Oakland in a primarily Black neighborhood. He served in the U.S. Army for 8 years, but was honorably discharged as he realized he wanted no part in the Vietnam War. After enrolling in Merritt College, he became more involved in civil rights activism and became good friends with Black Panthers members Bobby Seale and Huey Newton. They asked him to join the new group shortly afterwards. Though there were several Asian Americans in the party, Aoki was the only one with a leadership position, eventually promoted to Field Marshal. He was also known for providing guns and military training to Black Panthers members. He also played a key role in the Asian American Political Alliance, supporting the Black Panthers and opposing the war in Vietnam. He died in 2009 at the age of 70. In 2012, a report came out alleging that Aoki had been an FBI informant during his early days in the Black Panthers, but these reports have been challenged by his supporters. Check back for more.
Asian people in the US are so weird at liking white people more than their own people.
Think of it like this. When COVID hit, remember all the anti-Asian rhetoric that was going around America? Now imagine that energy stretched over a lifetime. Growing up, I'd hear that Asian men are not attractive, we only know how to do math, we can't drive, we have the funny accents, the slanty eyes. It's really hard, given all of that, to grow up as an Asian man in America and be proud of who you are. Now imagine coming home and the people in your house are Asian parents who don't express their emotions, who lay hands on you, who don't ever apologize, who make you feel less than for not wanting to be a doctor or engineer. Mine also called me stupid. Oh, you'll never get into this school. You'll never do this. Look at my friend's son and what he's doing. And so when both your indoor and outdoor environments make you question your self-worth, of course you're going to try and be someone else. I think that's human nature. And in America, what group do you look towards? White people. They are the heroes in all the movies. They're on all the magazines. It is very easy to put them on a pedestal, which I did, admittedly. And my story isn't unique. Now, these days, I am proud of who I am and my heritage and my facial structure. But it took a long time and a lot of personal growth and a lot of help from cultural phenomena like K-pop. There is so much more to say about this topic, like, for example, how a lot of Asian Americans don't feel connected to their extended families because they're not Asian enough, or how I, in college, saw up close white people with their close families and how that impacted me. But I want to keep it short. I hope this helps you and other Asians who didn't grow up in America understand us better.
This message is for my fellow Asians, and I'm gonna just say the quiet part out loud. We don't have a lot of protection, but we do have this thin mesh of a blanket, more of a protection than our fellow Black and brown communities. That's just a known fact. It's not debatable. I know it and you know it. And I think a lot of us have clung on to the warmth of that teeny blanket to provide some kind of peace during times like this, that maybe, possibly, we might be a little safer than them. Here's the thing. We have benefited enormously from the movements of our adjacent communities without being on the front lines ourselves. The Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act, fair housing, even the ability to have language access via documents and services in Vietnamese provided to us. The presence of Asian American studies in universities is mirrored after the successful movement of the Chicano studies in university. None of these rights and protections came from communities being quiet and complacent. It came from people organizing, protesting, unifying, marching, suing, and not accepting that fear is the new normal. Asians are one of the fastest growing undocumented populations in the country right now. Asians are getting detained and deported every single day. And the fact that some of us still believe we're so far removed from everything going on right now is just pure denial and foolishness. I know so many of us have been taught by our parents to keep our heads down and not make waves because those tactics worked for them when they had to flee their country and assimilate into a new country. But their experience is not our experience right now. The tactics that kept them safe back then may very well harm us now.
So I've been noticing that a lot of the tension between the Black and Asian communities comes from this idea that one racial group doesn't care about the other. And to me, that's such a dangerous idea. You probably didn't hear about this, but on Saturday there was a rally in Oakland. There was mostly Black and Asian people calling out the violence against Asian elders. And there were a lot of Black church leaders and activists who spoke out against the violence happening to Asian people. Similarly, over the summer, a lot of Asian Americans showed up for Black Lives Matter. According to the Pew Research Center, by September, Asian Americans were the racial group other than Black people who most supported BLM. We have to fight this notion that neither of us care about each other because we're gonna come out losing at the end of the day. It's not white people, it's not white supremacy, it's us. And while I understand that a lot of resentment can come from real life experience, I think it's really, really important right now to hear each other out.
At the end of the day, solidarity isn't a hashtag or a performance, it is a practice. If you want multi-racial movement that challenge racism, capitalism, and state violence, we have to be brave enough to have hard-working conversations without ego, without denials, and without counting fragility. Black liberation strengthens everyone's liberation. That's not a slogan. That's history. So instead of reacting defensively, instead of letting the system pit us against each other, let's build something better together. If you found this conversation valuable, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments respectfully. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.